there will come a day when the woman you trusted most, the one you gave your name, your strength, your future, will turn away and give herself to another man. She will smile while she destroys you. She will whisper promises while she builds a life in another man's arms. And when that fantasy burns to ash, she will return with tears, with excuses, with stories of love and regret. And in that moment, your heart will tremble, your mind will ache, you will be tempted to open the door. But if you do, you will not only lose her again, you will lose yourself. This is the truth you need to know. The truth of betrayal, the truth of her return, and the truth of your freedom. When you first step into a relationship, everything feels like magic. She shines, you laugh, the world slows to a heartbeat. She is in her demo mode, offering you the finest version of herself. And you let yourself believe. You fall into the warmth, the intoxication of new love. Both of you, high on hormones, high on hope. She wants you, you want her. You move in together. You whisper about weddings, tomorrows, forever. She swears you are the best man she has ever known. She promises she will never leave. She will always be there. And you believe her because you want to believe, because her smile feels real, because your heart is open. You dream together. You may even bring children into this world. You work harder than ever before. You give her everything, your soul, your strength, your future. Brick by brick, you build a life meant to last. And you truly think she is not like others. She is different. She understands. She loves me. You watch other men lose their families. Other women abandon good men. But deep down you whisper, that will never be me. Mine is special. But slowly, almost silently, she begins to change. She no longer looks at you the same. Your voice becomes background noise. Her eyes no longer light up when you walk into the room. You don't notice it at first because you are still in love, because you are still building the dream. But she has already begun to feel nothing. A woman is emotion. And when emotion dies, so does her desire. You become routine, predictable, familiar, a book she has already read. And no matter how valuable the pages, she aches for a new story, a new fire. And brother, hear me. This is not your fault. You did not fail. You simply cannot command the tides of her emotions. And when her emotions die, she begins searching elsewhere. She flirts, she reconnects with old friends, she feels butterflies for a man who has done nothing to earn them. But she hides it. She masks it with smiles, with routine, while you still loyal, still blind, keep dreaming. You plan trips, you buy flowers, you work late to build a better life. You still call her your queen until one day, like a lightning on a clear day, like snow falling in July, she stands before you, cold, empty, expressionless, and says the words that rip your soul apart. She says, "We need to talk. I don't love you anymore. I am leaving." And in that instant, your world shatters. You stumble through the wreckage, searching for answers. What happened? Where did it all go wrong? How could everything seem perfect yesterday and be ashes today? But brother, it was never perfect. It was only an illusion. You dreamed. You painted a life of warmth, of quiet joy. You lived for her, for the family you built in your soul. You drew maps of a shared destiny, a future carved in love. And then, suddenly, she was gone. You are left in silence, drowning in disbelief. You don't understand what just happened, but she does. She will cut you with soft, sharp words. She will blame you. She will whisper, "It's your fault," that you didn't love her enough, didn't give her attention, didn't cherish her the way she deserved. And you will believe her. You will sit in the ashes of your broken heart, asking yourself, maybe I didn't love her enough. Maybe I didn't listen. Maybe I failed her. And so you try to fix it. You try to win her back. You send gifts. You flood her phone with words. You watch her from a distance. You chase her like a shadow in the dark. You bend your soul just to please her. But the more you give, the further she drifts. You don't see it yet, that every act of desperation pushes her further away. You become a stranger to yourself, a man she can no longer respect, until one day clarity arrives. Like a cruel sunrise, you see it in her eyes. There is no return. You realize she is already gone, already living in another man's world, laughing, loving, reborn in his arms. And then the truth cuts deeper. You learn she was with him while she was still with you. She met him in secret, shared her body, whispered the same lies of love, then turned to your bed, kissed your forehead, served you dinner as if she hadn't just betrayed you. She lived two lives, one with you and one with him. Now he is her world, her forever. He receives the same fire she once gave you, the same whispers, the same vows. I love you. You are the only one. I will never leave. And just like you once did, he believes her too. But now, brother, you begin to understand that chasing someone who already betrayed you is nothing less than a slow suicide of the soul. You don't need to win her back. You need to win yourself back, to rebuild, to rise, to forge a man so whole, so unshakable that no betrayal could ever destroy him again. And so you began to rebuild. You turned inward, faced the ruins of your past, not to mourn them, but to reshape them. You stitched the torn edges of your soul. You corrected the path of your life. You began walking toward your deeper mission. You chose to grow, to think, to become more. And with each passing day, your focus sharpened, your will hardened, and time became your greatest ally. It did not simply heal you, it forged you. You rose from the wreckage not as the same man, but as something greater, free, independent, successful, unshakably strong. But what of her, the one who betrayed you? Understand this truth. Her life is not unfolding as she dreamed. Her happiness has no roots, no peace. She has not found what she was searching for. And even if she did, it slips through her fingers like sand. Her value in the romantic world, it fades, because nature always rewrites the rules. With each passing year, it becomes harder for her to find the man she once imagined. The thrill she once felt with her new man, gone. The hormones settled. The fantasy dissolved. And now she sits in silence. But women cannot thrive in silence. Without emotion, they wither. And so her mind drifts back to you. At first, she laughs at the thought, believing you must have crumbled without her. But curiosity begins to creep in. She checks your social media, scrolls through your photos, searches your name, and what does she see? A man reborn, stronger, sharper, more composed, more powerful. You did not fall apart. You rose. You turned betrayal into wisdom. You transformed pain into power. And now, around you are women, women younger, more radiant, more feminine, more inspired by your presence. And this cuts her deeper than anything else. Shock pierces her chest. Jealousy coils in her stomach. Regret begins to scream inside her. But you don't even notice. You don't even know. So she begins to plan. Maybe she engineers a chance meeting. Maybe she sends a message, something light, something harmless. Maybe she calls, asking about the children, wondering how you have been. Her voice softens again, like it once did. She lingers on the line, tries to keep you talking, tests the waters. And you might wonder, why does she seem so different now? But don't be fooled. She has not changed. This is her strategy, her plan. What drives her mad is not just your strength, it is your indifference. She thought you would be waiting. She thought you would beg. She thought you would kneel for her return. But now she sees the truth. You have already moved on. You have already outgrown her. And when all her little plays fail, when none of it stirs your soul, she will break. She will show up. Tears on her cheeks, words soaked in desperation. She will say it was all a mistake, that she was lost, that she did not know what she was doing. She will beg. She will offer apologies, excuses, tactics, anything to crack you open again. But you will stand there in silence, not out of hatred, not out of bitterness, but because the man you are now knows his worth, knows peace, knows freedom, and he never looks back. You will watch her. You will listen to her words, and deep inside, a truth will strike. To take back the one who betrayed you, the one who abandoned you at your lowest, would be nothing less than handing her the key to destroy your life again and again. And she will aim for your weakest place because she knows it. She always did. She will strike at your father's heart. She will speak of the children, of how they cry without you, how they suffer in a broken home, how they long to wake each morning to the presence of their father in the house they once called a family, and your heart will tremble. But then you will remember, when she left, she did not cry for children. She did not shiver at the sound of their hearts breaking as she tore them from the arms of a loving father. She did not flinch at their tears when they begged, pleaded to live under one roof with both their parents. I remember how she looked at me with disgust as I fell to my knees and begged her, not for me, for them, for children. I begged her to stay, to try, to hold on. And now she dares to speak of the children, not because her soul has awakened, not because her heart has healed, but because it suits her strategy. And you will look at her and wonder in silence, how did I ever love this woman? How did I give her my name, my blood, my children? How did I pour the best years of my life into making her happy? I lived for her, and she discarded me like something useless, like something worn out. I spent months praying for the sound of her knock at the door, dreaming that if she returned, I would open my arms, my chest, my broken waiting heart. And now she stands before me, tears in her eyes, begging. But I feel nothing, because what she did was not a mistake, not a fleeting moment of weakness. It was betrayal, slowly brewed in silence, fed over weeks, nurtured in shadows, growing in the soil of lies and secrecy. This was not an accident. This was planned. This was cold. This was war. And now she does not return for love, not for the children, not for redemption. She returns for comfort, because the world outside was not as sweet as she imagined, because she thought she was trading up, but instead she found herself alone. And if you don't take her back, she will go to the next man. And if he rejects her, she will go to another. Any man who can give her comfort, a roof, resources, a place to land. It was never about love. It was about survival, about gain. And now you finally see her clearly. And that is the beginning of your freedom. There is no love there. What governs her world now is not loyalty, not truth, not soul. It is the hunt for comfort, for resources, for the next safe place to land. And how could you ever imagine taking her back after betrayal, after she whispered to another man that she would never leave him, after she shared her body with him, gave him what was once sacred to you, after she did things you cannot even bear to picture. And now that it didn't work out with the others, she comes knocking at your door, asking for a second chance, not out of love, out of failure. Many men take her back. Many fall into the same trap twice, some even 3 times, and then they wonder why their lives lie in ruins. The man who gives her another chance hands her the weapon to destroy him again and again, because she has not changed. She is the same woman, the same heart that betrayed you, the same mask, the same poisoned smile, and she will bring into your life the very same storm that already shattered you once. Why would you welcome back the fire that nearly killed you? Stay free, stay whole. Choose peace over the past. Choose dignity over desire. Choose yourself. The man who takes her back will never hold power in her eyes. To her, he is weak, a man who cannot stand in his frame, a man she cannot respect. Deep down, she knows a strong, grounded, self-respecting man would never forgive her. He would never open the door to a woman who once burned the house down. She knows that the man who lets her back in is soft clay in her hands, easy to mold, easy to use, easy to betray again and again without consequences. So, don't be that man. Let her go. Let her carry the weight of her choices, and let yourself walk free into the life that waits beyond her shadow. She will never respect the man who took her back, because to her he became an object, something disposable, something she could cast aside when bored and retrieve again when it suited her. She knows the man who takes her back is no longer the master of his life. She is. His addiction to her outweighs his wisdom. His longing crushes his logic. His weakness becomes her throne. She knows she held the power all alone. It was never him. She broke the family when she wished. She returned when it was convenient. And he opened the door. No woman will ever respect the man who let her back in after she abandoned him in his darkest hour, when you were drowning in your shadow. She was not there. She chose distance over loyalty, silence over support. But now that the sun is rising in your sky, now that your strength has returned, now that your peace is no longer built upon her presence, she returns, not out of love, out of hunger. She comes to taste the comfort you built without her. She will whisper sweet words, dress her return as destiny. She will call it fate. She will name it repentance. She will disguise it as growth. But hear me, brother, it is all manipulation, a mask, a performance, a trap. And if you fall for it again, you will not just lose her, you will lose yourself. Don't fall for it this time. If you need guidance, if you need strength, if you need the truth, reach out. If you want to walk this path with other men who refuse to stay broken, join my Telegram channel. Let's rise together.